Why, hello there. It's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel. A very warm welcome if you're returning. Hello. Hope you're good. And if you're completely new here and you clicked on my face, hey, let's find out what it is that the universe has brought us together for. Maybe it's for no reason at all. Although there's always a reason, isn't there? There's always a reason. Okay, guys, I have something to say today, okay, which is not normal for me. Sometimes I don't. Today I do. And I'm claiming this for myself and for anybody else who has this energy working in and around them and has also, like me, suppressed it. So, okay, so I'm going to start with my anecdote, which is I went on a date. Let's get comfy for this one. I went on a date yesterday. Okay, I'm putting myself out there. I decided spring is coming. It's probably time to leave the house and venture out into the world of human beings. So I went on a date, and the thing is, it was a blind date. Okay, it was one from a dating app. So my expectations weren't that high. But okay, you got to try. You got to start somewhere. So went on the date, lovely guy, all fine, to be honest with you. Like, there was a thing where he was obviously so excited, and I think a little bit on the spectrum. Like, I would definitely say neurodivergent, which isn't a bad thing in my books at all, because either I am or not, I don't know, don't really care for diagnosis, but people who are neurodivergent, to me, are way easier to communicate with because they're very upfront and honest. And they don't have the filter and the social cues, which for me, a lot of them are bollocks. So I like it. Anyway, something that comes with it is sometimes you can be unaware of the other person, and you can talk too much and you can go on like this is a trait. And he was definitely doing this. He was doing a lot of the talking. Now, he was a very interesting guy, so I didn't mind, but I was clocking it, right? For a date, I was like, I'm not feeling very special here, which is something that I do kind of expect to feel, I guess, something that I want. But there wasn't that two-way. But nevertheless, it was all very interesting what he was telling me. So I was sort of going along with it. Then I decided, like, if I don't want the whole date, I'm going to have to interject myself here somewhere, because that's probably what he's expecting me to do anyway. So I can't just sit back and, like, get slowly resentful for him not asking about me. I'm just going to have to insert myself into this conversation, which I did. So I began building on what he was saying with my own story, my own tale. And I was about 30 seconds into it when he took something I said and ran with it and went to a whole nother anecdote. Now I was triggered because it was like, okay, now I'm doing what you're doing. I'm putting myself in the conversation, and you have not responded well to that. So I'm pissed. But I'm like, okay, Jessie, he's just a human being. You're on a date. Like, remember, okay, keep it calm, right? Anyway, I decided to show with my body language that I was annoyed because he was now going off on one, right? On a tangent. This guy could speak for England. He wasn't English, so let's say he could speak for Portugal. That's probably more fitting. And he went, oh, sorry, am I boring you? And carried on. And I went, yeah, you are. And he was like, oh. And I was like, not because what you're saying's boring, but because I tried to build on what you were saying and share my own story, and you interrupted me and ran away. And now you've asked me about something completely different. And it makes me feel like what my contribution isn't important, that you don't care about it. And this conversation is entertaining for you because you're able to tell me all of the things that you know. Oh, that came out of me. That came out of me on a first date. Watch out, people. Don't go on first dates with me, okay? I'm dangerous. I didn't even know this was a bad thing to do. I just honestly thought in my head, I was like, if I'm going to continue hanging out with this human being, he needs to know what the rules are. And he needs to know how I'm feeling. So basically, I am bored with what you're saying because you did this and this is how it makes me feel. Anyway, the guy, being neurodivergent, didn't take it that personally, but it obviously hit on something. So he took it really well. And he sort of laughed and he went, oh, bloody hell. Oh, God, put me in your place, haven't you? Put me in my place, haven't you? And was laughing about it. And I was like, yeah, it's not funny for me because I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to tell people that in order to have a conversation where the other person doesn't feel ignored, you have to let them speak and listen. It's not my job to tell an adult person that. And to be honest, I could have just kept quiet and had a bad time and left. But I was giving the guy a chance. It was like, listen, if we're going to continue hanging out, this is how it works. These are my expectations of the conversation as someone. Basic. Anyway, he took it really well. And then throughout the rest of the date, like we were walking around and he was sharing things and he would go, oh, I'm not interrupting, am I? Oh, I'm not sharing too much. So he had obviously become very aware of it and was not wanting to repeat the experience. And he was very sorry. He kept apologizing. I was like, it's fine. Just don't do it anymore. Like, I don't want groveling, even though when we feel bad about something, sometimes that's all we can do is just say, sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But you have to say sorry and then change the behavior, which he did. Hands up to him. Anyway, comes to the end of the night. End of the evening. And he was like, I've had a really good time despite being scolded by you. And I was like, is that how it was received? Like I scolded you? And he was like, yeah, you kind of did. And I was like, damn, I kind of did. And like scold is a strong word in my books. And I don't ever want to be somebody who scolds other people. It's so harsh, but I guess that's how he received it because he wasn't maybe he's never had that feedback before. So it came on a little strong and he wasn't expecting it. But I don't want to be somebody who scolds people. But I also don't want to be somebody who doesn't express my needs and boundaries in a conversation, no matter who it is. Like, why would I not do that? If I need to do that, I needed to tell him how his actions were making me feel, and I needed to see a shift in behavior. Otherwise, I just didn't want to hang around with him anymore. Now, scolding? Do I have to scold to do that? And this brings me back to the original point, which is owning this energy of correction. I'm going to call it correction, not scolding. Now, he and anybody is free to disagree with me if they don't think that what I shared was correct, let's say. So I was expressing my need or my boundary, right? Which is you interrupting me makes me feel insignificant. Either you want to hear what I have to say or you don't, but you need to show it if you do. Oh my God, it's so harsh. Now, is that scolding? Could I have done it in a better way? Like maybe. I was kind of pissed though, so it came out that way. Now, I also have a class. I have lots of classes. I'm a teacher, as you know. And I have lots of classes of different ages and levels of English. So I have this one class and I have this level at this age group twice a week, different classes. And the level of maturity is like, I cannot explain to you how different the dynamic is in these two classes at the same level, at the same age. And this class that I have later on today, actually, I don't like them. I don't like them. They don't like me, so I don't like them. Now, hear me out. As a teacher, it's my job to have earned respect from the students. When there's mutual respect given either sides, it's very easy for me to do my job and I can make it very fun and very enjoyable. I know I'm a good teacher. Yet, if you don't respect the guidelines that I've laid out in the classroom, then I feel disrespected, and then I don't respect my students in the way that I normally do. I show them less respect if they're not giving it to me on guidelines that we've all agreed on. Wow, I'm this today, guys. I'm fucking scolding today. I'm like a hot iron. No, sorry. So look at me apologizing for it. This is the thing. I have totally repressed this aspect of my personality. And it's actually so effective and so powerful, though unlikable. That's the clincher, right? So this class, really immature, and I've tried lots of different methods, and sometimes they work, and to be fair, I need to be more consistent with them. I'm not always. But they just lack respect because they're not very good at English. So they don't have much motivation to learn. So they're not going to respect the English teacher who's trying to make them speak a language they don't care about. Not all of them, as a group dynamic. Anyway, I lost it with them. I lost it. Not in a mad way. I just said, this is so... Because I have the other class to compare them to, I was like, you at this age, you can do better. I know that you have an understanding of what behavior is expected and when and where you can behave certain ways. And I've made it quite clear in this classroom. Anyway, I scolded them. And I don't do that very often as a teacher, believe it or not. But I scolded this class. And my God, was it exactly what they flickin' needed? Flickin' hell. They were corrected and they were focused and they were suddenly asking questions and being engaged, and there was learning happening. And I had to get mad and scold for that change, that shift in their energy to happen. And even though they didn't like it, it was effective for their learning, which is what the environment was for, okay? So sometimes it's necessary, and in this date, the rest of it went really well because he suddenly became aware of my experience in the conversation. So even though he felt I scolded him, which is crazy because I was just expressing my needs and boundaries, and if I guess I need to work on it. But it's so necessary sometimes. And I think I've totally repressed this part of me, which is actually very clear and likes correction. Now, you are free, anyone is free to disagree with what my idea of correction is. I am not saying it's my way or the highway. I'm very open to discussion about it. What are everyone's needs? What do we need? And where do we go? He could have been like, hey, I was just he could have basically not wanted to do what I had asked, and the date would have ended there. Fine, no problem with me. This is why it's important to set boundaries. And so I'm making a call, right? Because if you're in the video and you're still here listening, then you're feeling this. Do you have this part in you that needs to speak up sometimes to share what can be corrected for the betterment of all? It's not a personal selfish thing. We correct for, at least I do, I correct for the betterment of all. It's to improve the experience of everyone in my perception. And if you would like to challenge me with that, go ahead. I'm not prissy about it, but I so often don't speak and don't scold and don't, because I'm very direct with how I speak, and people don't freaking like it. My feelings got hurt, and I know we all have feelings, and they are really precious and sweet because it's all our little children that needed more care, and I know they're there. But I also have to give voice to this part of myself, and this is a call for anyone else. You're still here. Even though people don't like it, it's a necessary energy, particularly right now. Can you see what's happening in the world? As much as we're expanding and growing and learning and evolving, there is this counter energy to inhibit all of this natural growth. And you can see it. There's more and more control coming in all the time, at least attempting to. It's a funny one because it does depend a lot on how you feel inside. But what I'm trying to say is it's very important if you hold this sort of this truth speaking, this scolding, this correction, and people, and it's not very likable, okay? Nobody likes to be scolded. Nobody likes to be told off. But it's a necessary energy, and I'm just saying that, and I'm claiming it. And people can go, oh, but you can do it in a nice way, and you can do it like this, and you can do it. Yes, you can. And you can also just get straight to the fucking point and tell people how it is. No. Not in my universe. Not in my realm. If you want to behave like that, I'm leaving. Or if it's in my space, you're leaving. I ain't putting up with it anymore. And if you think I'm scolding you, maybe I am. You get that? That was the hot iron. So please claim it if you are like me and you have this and you've totally repressed it because people have told you your whole life that it's not a likable trait. Fucking, we didn't come here to make friends. That's all I gotta say. I didn't come here to make friends. I didn't come here to make friends, even though I like friends. Don't have very many, but the ones I got, I like them. But I'm not here for that. Oh! Where am I going with this? It seems a bit extreme. I think I need to calm down. I'm going to leave it there. If you like the video, please like it, give it a thumbs up. Please comment down below anything you feel like commenting. I love it. And hit subscribe if you see where this is going. Thank you very much, guys. I love you. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.